Hey guys, this is Tuhon Aditya from LightHaven. Today I want to share with you a basic disarming drill that you can do with stick or with knives. In order to disarm, I need a couple of things, right? The first is I need to isolate his arm in a slightly weak position. I want to break that arm structure. It's very hard for me to disarm when Ben is like this. I can do it, but it's hard, right? So when he's giving me the angle one, the first thing I'm going to look to do is make the arm into, sort of break the structure of the arm or put it into a weak structure. The next thing I'm looking to do is isolate that wrist, because if I hold up high, he can straighten the arm again. So just turn that way. Yeah, he can do that again, and there are vertics and all sorts of things. I want to grab that wrist, isolate that wrist, so now when he tries to turn the same way, he can't, right? What I'm also looking to do is by grabbing that wrist, I'm looking to extend the arm even more, weakening the structure a little bit more. Now, the third thing that I want to look for is I want to look for what we call the door, right? So where his fingers are, that's generally where I want to apply pressure, either that way or that way. So we're going to go over two major disarms. One is to the outside and one is to the inside. The first disarm is more of a long range disarm. The second disarm is slightly when you're slightly closer. So the first disarm is when Ben is giving me an angle one. I'm going to parry, and from this V over here, I'm going to insert, get his hand down, my hand's going to come under, and it's going to disarm. Now I'm going to do the same to Ben. He's going to parry from the outside, pick it up, disarm. Right? Now, this is a slightly longer range disarm where I need Ben to feed me the angle one. He's looking to hit me. Right? As he's looking to hit me, I'm looking to parry that like I would parry a punch. As I'm parrying that, I'm looking to insert underneath, bring that down. My palm is going to face up because it's a stronger structure for me. I'm going to come as close to Ben's fist as possible with my palm facing up, and I'm going to peel. That's now the stick is coming to my hand in the correct grip for me to strike. So as he's giving me that angle one, I'm parrying it. I'm straightening that arm in a slightly weak position and isolating the wrist so he doesn't have much movement in that wrist. Next, I'm going to go palm facing up as close to his fist as possible, and I'm going to peel towards the door, and that's going to give me the disarm. Now Ben's going to do the same thing. And you can add footwork where I step to the outside and then do the disarm as well. The next disarm is generally done slightly closer. You can do it from further away, it's just harder, it's much harder. From slightly closer, I want Ben to be hitting me with that punyo, because at this range, hitting me with the meat of the stick may not give him much power. This is probably the better option. As Ben's hitting me with that punyo, I'm looking to bisect. That can be a strike or that can be just like a bisect. Now from here, I'm going to wrap and bring that down, putting his arm into a weak structure and isolating that wrist at the same time. I can disarm just from here by turning, but I want to keep control of the stick for the sake of the drill. So I'm going to reach under, again palm facing up, and I'm going to peel against that door. Ben's going to do the same thing. One thing that I sort of find easier to do in this disarm is if my thumb is with my hand. If I get my arm between this V, between the V that's formed between the punyo and his forearm, then I like to have the thumb alongside my hand. This means that I can then put more pressure on his arm. If his punyo is maybe smaller and I just get a hold of that wrist, then I'm going to use that thumb because it gives me better grip and I'm not in between this V, right? For this drill, generally, if you're close enough, then when he gives you that punyo, if you bisect properly, you should end up with your forearm between his forearm and that punyo. So keep your thumbs together, palm facing up. That's my disarm. He does the same thing. I do the same thing. So that's the two disarms the drills are made of. Now I want to combine the two. So now you can either say we're going to do two outside disarms, two inside disarms, or you can randomize it. So it goes, he's going to swing, I go to the outside, I swing, he goes to the outside, I go to the inside. Now I'm going to switch hands. Now it's in my right hand. He's going to switch hands. I go back to the outside. I go to the inside. He goes to the inside. And then you can randomize it. So it's up to you whether you want to go outside, whether you want to go inside. Later on you can add another level to it where you can start playing with range. So then when Ben is giving me an angle 1 with the meat of the stick, I want to be to the outside. I want to go to the outside, because if he's giving me an angle 1 like that, it's very hard for me. If he's giving me an angle 1 with the top, it's very hard for me to enter here. However, if we are closer and Ben's trying to hit me with the punyo, now it's easier for me to get that insertion between the forearm and the punyo. So you can start playing that game also, where sometimes your partner will feed you just an angle 1 strike with the main part of the stick, and sometimes they'll come and try and use the punyo, and you're going to do the same. When they come with the meat of the stick, you're looking to go to the outside. If you try and hit them with the punyo, they'll go to the inside. I really like this drill because you can do it with stick, you can do it with knife. You have the same basic mechanics that work with almost any weapon system. And it's sort of teaching you your basic principles of disarms, putting the arm into a weak structure, isolating that wrist, peeling against that door. And if you use those principles, then you can start looking for many other disarms from many other positions. But those same principles, most of the time, stay the same. As usual, thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked what you saw, if you learned from what you saw, please do like and subscribe to the channel. Please do share this video. It does help out the school a lot. And see you in the next video.